Hello there. There are some people in my circle who love to boycott everything. They boycott Facebook, they boycott YouTube, they boycott Google, Apple. If it is popular, if it is mainstream, they will boycott it. And the basis of their boycott is some of those policies or business practices of these companies that they don't agree with. In some cases, those concerns are genuine, but in most cases, it's just made up stuff. It's because of lack of information and lack of education. These people actually reminds me of like they are Alex Jones of technology world, where they are so misinformed but full of opinion, and then they make things up just to support those opinions. And I think they do more harm than good. The first reason is that boycotts never work. I actually boycotted Apple once, but that was the time when Steve Jobs kind of started thermonuclear warfare with Samsung, and I believe that it was not uh, how free market should operate. There should be healthy competition without resorting to legal options. When Jobs passed away and Tim Cook took control of Apple, he kind of normalized things. We're back to healthy competition where Samsung is coming out with their own devices, Apple is coming out with their own devices, and we are seeing a very healthy market there. When I wrote a post about boycotting Apple, a very prominent journalist, his name is Mike Elgin, he kind of wrote a counter post saying that the boycotts don't work, and I kind of agree with him. The My boycott of Apple was more about my frustration with Jobs than with Apple itself. The reason I don't believe boycotts work, and I would like these people who keep calling for boycotting these services, is that when you look at these vocal minorities, their size is so tiny that they are almost insignificant. It's less than a drop in an ocean. When you look at Facebook with almost 2 billion users, or YouTube, where there are people like Cassie Neistat who get like a million views per day, or Twitter, or any such service or product, the scale at that these companies operate is so massive that you don't matter. So even if you boycott those services, they won't even take notice. They won't miss you. So it's not going to have any impact whatsoever that you were expecting by boycotting them, but you are actually closing doors to an opportunity where you could have improved things. And the reason is that while you are a minority, a very tiny minority, you might have some influence over some people who follow you blindly, just the way a lot of people follow Donald Trump or Alex Jones blindly. Just let me give you an example so you can relate to it, why boycotts don't work and what is the better way of doing it. Just think about your local community. If you see any problem in your local community, in some cases, like in our case, we have an HOA and there is a board of different kind of departments. So one example was swimming pool. There were some people who would smoke cigarettes in the park benches which were in the pool. It was an open area. It was not an enclosed pool. It's an open area, so they can freely smoke there. And there were certain people, some people on the pool committee, who supported that idea, and those people were kind of majority. So the pool committee allowed people to smoke. When we moved in here, we did not like the idea. So what was the way? We could have boycotted the pool. We don't want to go to the pool that kind of allows smoking, but then we won't be able to swim or use the pool. The second option is that join the board of the pool committee. Once you join the pool community, and there are other people who also feel the same way that you feel, that okay, this is not healthy for people to smoke there, those people will be encouraged to join the board. And so that's what happened. The number of people who opposed such thing increased within the board, and finally it was decided that nobody will be allowed to smoke in the pool area. So you made a positive change by participating. Same is the case with Facebook, Google, YouTube, Twitter, or Apple. If you want to make a change, do not boycott. Embrace, extend, and influence. I would suggest that you join these services and you invite people like you to join these services. And then you share your experience, your concern with other users out there. You start influencing other people. So when a company sees that 0.00001% people don't like their product and they're leaving, they don't care. But if you continue your drive of embrace, extend, and influence, you might see that there are like almost 30 to 40% users on Facebook who do want such kind of privacy measures. And what will Facebook do when they see that a majority, even if not majority, 40% people want those changes? They will change their policies. Same thing with Apple or any other company. Be the change, be the agent of that change. Don't boycott. So my advice to you is that stop listening to those people who ask for boycotts. Instead, go embrace new technologies, use them as much as you can, find the problems in those technologies, and extend your support for those technologies, and then influence the changes that you want to see in those platforms and technologies. One more thing, if you do have any disagreement with any product or service, do not hate the company or the product. Disagree with the policies of that company. Voice your concern about those ideas and those policies instead of hating those companies, belittling them, or calling names. That's the only way you can change things, if you want to change things. If you want to crawl back to your hole and start using stones and bones, good luck with that. Go ahead, go back to 16th century. But the way the future is moving forward with all these technology, mobile, artificial intelligence is coming, machine learning is coming, virtual reality is coming, IoT is coming. This is going to be a reality, and we cannot ignore it. And if you really care about free software, open source, and policies and ideas that support privacy and transparency, then instead of boycotting them, start embracing them. So, as I said earlier, just keep three things in mind: embrace, extend, and influence. Thanks for watching. See you next time.